Talk about your business so clients will listen. Many nutrition coaches, just you and me, struggle to clearly express what is unique about our coaching. So in this live stream, we will show you how we can define clearly who we are, what we do, and what is unique about us, and what we can uniquely bring to the life of our clients. And the problem often is when we are so deep into our business, we struggle to see what actually differentiates us. It's very often with this, the same question is, so what is unique about you, or what is really easy for you? We don't know what is easy for us because it has always been easy for us. So we need a clear process to clarify what is unique about us, how do we differentiate ourselves. The other part is we don't always know all our competitors. So it's very difficult to say, oh, I'm different from them or from them, because we don't know everyone. And the next part is, without being crystal clear about what we do and who we are, what we do, and how we work, it is often the case that we either don't attract any clients at all, or we attract the wrong type of clients. Because if we are unclear about what we do and who we want to work with, somebody else will be confused. And then we have either the issue that they don't know that we want to work with them, or the wrong people come to us. And then we have these difficult situations where I work with a client, but I kind of feel like I don't want to work with this client. And then the last part is coaching, especially if you're a precision nutrition certified coach. Very often there are so many things that come in: nutrition, fitness, sleep, mindset, deep health. And we offer intangible things. We don't always say, oh, lose 10 pounds in 6 weeks. We talk about improving your health, improving your mindset, improving your relationship with food. But this often not this clear result-based coaching. So we have to work extra hard to clarify what we do. So what Maria and I want to do today is we want to organize our message, what we want to communicate, in 7 different categories. And these categories will be connected. So this allows us to communicate clearly who we are, what we do, and what is the unique value that we bring to our clients. Before we jump into the actual content, I see at least 5 people already watching us. Who's already here? Where you're from? I'm so excited that you made time to listen to our little presentation. So while we wait for the first comments to come in, I want to clarify a little bit, who is this presentation for, who is this workshop for, and who may not get the most out of this workshop. So one very important part is that you have identified your ideal clients. If you haven't identified your ideal clients, you cannot communicate clearly. Because if you don't know who you work with, you cannot communicate who you want to work with. That's very difficult. The next part is, this is for you if you want to be recognized as an expert, because you communicate clearly the real problems and pains of your clients. So if you want clients and other people tell others about you and who you are, then this is for you. And if you struggle to just answer a question like, so what do you do? And currently your best answer is, well, I'm a nutrition coach. But you are so much more than just a nutrition coach. What I also want to say is, you need to be ready to do a little bit of work to go through these steps. This won't be this, oh, here's this one magic formula and I will present it to you on a silver table, a dish, or whatever the phrase is. You have to work a little bit to clarify what you do, and you have to allow yourself to practice and adjust based on the feedback. Because you may have the idea that you're very clear, but some people may say, oh, what does it actually mean? So you adjust a little bit. So if that's you, welcome. I'm so excited that you're here. Who is this presentation not for? If you haven't identified your ideal clients yet, you will not get the most out of this presentation because we want to focus and we want to be very clear. And for that, we need to identify our ideal clients. So if you haven't identified your ideal clients, you may get some ideas, but you will struggle to go through this exercise because you don't have the focus yet. Also, the idea is that we want to be presented as experts for our ideal clients. If you want to be more a generalist that tries to speak to everybody and nobody at the same time, then this is not for you. If you're already a pro in clear communication, so if you're already really awesome at very clearly saying what you do and what you don't do, welcome. You're welcome to stay. Maybe you get a nugget or two from this conversation, but this is not advanced communication. This is more, we lay the foundation to communicate clearly. And again, this won't be a magic formula that solves all the problems without thinking about yourself and your clients. So there will be a deep process of understanding what you actually do. And if you need to get it right the first time, so there's no room for error, for experimentation, for improvement, then this is not for you either. But then probably entrepreneurship is not for you either. And yeah, that's it. I see 8 people. I see a couple of comments already. Let me see. KS is here. Thank you so much. I saw your comment about selling your coaching services. I will upload the slides after this presentation. So thank you so much for the comment there. And Martina is here from Croatia. So she's a neighbor. And I see laughs and hearts flying in. That's so awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Before we jump into the content, Maria, you're sitting here with us. What's your role here today? And can you give us a little bit of background?
Yeah. So the role is that now you're putting me on the spot already, you know. I'm supposed to say what I do. So, okay, so let's start with I'm a health coach. And I like to say that I'm a deep health coach. But I guess I'm already lost there, you know, because I didn't nail it. So to tell you the background why I came to you, Robin, is because I worked with a couple of clients, and I realized that they come to me for the obvious things: losing weight, losing paint in their bodies, rather simple problems. But as you start to work with them, you realize as the expert that no, their weight loss thing is tied to so many other things, yeah? And it's easy for the expert then to start to talk about this in your messaging on LinkedIn or on your website, that this is the things you need to do. These are the problems you need to solve, and here are the solutions. But then you lost them. So this is exactly why I come, because I like the deep health model. I love it because it brings me all the complexity, and I understand that if a person has a weight gain over several years, that might be some inner game going on. But the client who is overloaded with work, does she need to understand that model? She can just act on my advice. But it's about how do I message this so I'm also fair to myself, because I have 2 PhD in molecular biology. So the ego, there's an ego here. So do I just want to say that I'm a weight loss coach? Is that complex enough? So I guess that's my problem.
Yeah, and for those in the comments, have you been guilty of talking about how exciting the stuff is that you're doing? Like, I'm a deep health coach, and people are looking at you, and what does that mean? Have you talked about how exciting these new concepts are that you're learning, and people have just no idea what that means? So I'm raising my hand. I have done this in the past, and I continue to do this every now and again. So let me know in the comments below if you have been guilty of this as well. So what is our goal? What's the thing that we want to achieve today? So what we want to achieve is that future clients and current clients understand exactly what you do and how you can help solve their problems. That means we have clarity and focus about who we are and how we can express our uniqueness to our clients. It means we have some sort of a blueprint for our Instagram or social media LinkedIn posts. We have a blueprint to write our bios. Maybe we have even a blueprint to write our websites that give us clarity and confidence about what we talk about. And even more, it gives us ideas for program names, and it gives us ideas for headlines, because we clearly understand what is the actual pain, what is the actual thing that our clients want. And to make this even broader, it will help us to stand out from the crowd. So we don't have to say, I'm a weight loss coach, because if you're a weight loss coach, that's what you do, but people don't hire you to lose weight. They often have deeper motivations. We all talk about this why concept all the time. So we want to dive into the why deeper and understand what is it really that our clients hire us to do. We talk about nutrition, but they want something deeper. And in the end, my hope is that you know exactly how to talk with your clients so they will listen, they will understand what you talk about, and in the end, they buy from you because they have this feeling you understand them, you know what they want, and you can give them an idea, oh yes, that's how I want to do it. So we will jump into the content in a second, but I have a challenge for everyone who is watching. I want you to follow us through this exercise of clarifying Maria's message. So it will help you to better understand the process so you can repeat it with confidence and with clarity on your own. And frankly, it's just more fun than just sitting there watching Robin and Maria doing all the work. So I need a couple of hands in the chat. Are you ready to follow us through this exercise to clarify who you are, what you do, and the unique value you bring to your clients? I will not continue unless I see a couple of hands and laughs and likes and energy. So let me start to share my screen. Application. There we go. KS is excited. I see likes flying over my screen. Wonderful. So much positive energy. No, I did it wrong. 1 second. Chrome. Christy is here. Awesome. Maria, can you confirm that you see this exercise sheet talk about your business so clients will listen?
Yeah, I saw it, but now it's gone again.
Oh no! What am I doing?
There.
There it is. Okay.
Yes.
So for everyone watching right now, this exercise sheet is for you to download at the end of this presentation. I will tell you how to get access to this. There are a couple of steps that we need. First, as I talked about in the beginning, we need to clarify our niche. So Maria's niche are women that are highly educated in power positions with family and children, and they are aged between 35 to 55. So our first step is to understand what are their problems, their questions, their roadblocks, their results. And we will start by looking at the deep health model. So we go through the different sections of the deep health concept to see what relational problems and questions and roadblocks come up? What results do Maria's ideal clients want in this area? And then we go through the existential, mental, environmental, emotional, and physical part. So we have a clear idea of all the problems, all the questions, all the roadblocks that Maria's clients have in their mind, and also the results that they want. And once we have this big mess of questions, problems, roadblocks, and results, we will clarify and get to the point of what is the biggest overarching problem that they have and what is the biggest, most inspiring result that they want. So Maria, can you kick us off? If you think about your ideal clients, what potential problems, questions, and roadblocks do come up when you think about the relational dimension of deep health?
So it's first you have the small family that you care for, and there it's this that you feel that you're not enough. Maybe you have high drive, so you're not enough to be there and supportive for your children and your husband. That's the small family. But then you also have the relation with your bigger family, and you're maybe not a supportive daughter, or you have issues with your mother and father. And that is quite common, things that I work with clients. Also status things with friends. You look at other women and you compare yourself. Why do I work so much versus this friend who seems more happy and fulfilled with life? There is an inner conflict in this relation. Yeah. Those are some easy ones.
Awesome. I will take a look at the chat for a second. What problems, questions, roadblocks do you see in the health for women in the age from 35 to 55 in high power positions? Let me know in the comments to get a little bit of your insights. What do you think are the problems? And Maria, if you could tell us a little bit more, what is the exciting, bright future they would imagine? How would a perfectly full deep health relational dimension look like for your ideal clients?
It's this an intangible feeling, but it's like confidence, feeling calm, in knowing that you take the right decisions. When it comes to, okay, today I worked overtime, but my family is okay. Or, yeah, I called my mother on Sunday and I'm okay. So I think it's this okay feeling, yeah? And that you feel confident with your decisions. And that you feel that there is an exchange, that you give and take in a relationship. There is this transaction somehow.
Awesome. We're starting to see a little bit dimension here. Let's move into the next area, existential. When I think about women, especially if we move to, so maybe 35, it's the beginning, but especially if you move up maybe to the 55, I see existential questions like, how are the next 10 years of my business are going to look like? How am I making my business, for example, ready for the next generation? How do I want to live my life after 60? Maybe questions like this. Tell me a little bit more about your ideal clients and their questions and problems that they have.
Yeah, this is spot on. I had a discussion yesterday with one client who she's overworked, but I mean, she cannot let go because she's not in a phase to sell it. So she wants to let go, but she can't. And another client is in the phase where she's now able to speed up her work, and then it's about, okay, how can she then make a better mark, leave something great behind? That is something that she thinks a lot about, and it takes up a lot of headspace, I would say. She has now the time to think about business versus before it was more children. Those are some questions. And then you can also have the question, if you've been on one path for a long time, is this it? Should I not explore another side of myself that is also sort of existential? Yeah, what's my purpose? How do I serve? How do I step into my zone of genius and such things? Those can be troubling questions.
So let me quickly check the chat box. What do we have? Guilt for taking time for themselves. Yes, that's a great comment. Thank you so much. I'm curious, for those watching, what could be a bright future and an inspiring vision for these women when you look at the existential part? Maria, can you kick us off a little bit?
The bright future. Yeah, again, as we look at the problems are again an inner conflict of values, an inner conflict of drivers. Should I go this way or should I go this way? And then the bright future is then to have the confidence, the inner power somehow that, okay, now I choose this direction and I'm happy with it. I'm not doubting, or I'm not feeling anxious about my decision or the choices I made.
So we have in the comments. Oh, I see a little bit of lack of participation here from those watching. I know you're all deep health coaches. You have the empathy and the energy to look into the life of women 35 to 55, highly educated, in a power position, that many of them have their own businesses. What is going on in their lives? What are some of the existential questions that they have? So I need a little bit more energy from you. This is something about, let's build and develop the clarity. We move on. So we have the mental aspect. Maria, what are some of the mental challenges that your clients face?
This was also a discussion with a client of mine this week. She's overloaded. I mean, she's mentally overloaded. Her brain was burning. So that, I would say, is a mental problem. There was just too many projects going on. You also, in this phase, you start to age. So your capacity, you have more stress hormones. So there's an aging part to how much you can handle as well. You're not as resilient to stress as you were before. That is what I would couple to cognitive health and mental health.
Yep. And what about the results? What do they wish they would have?
Being able to focus, if it comes to cognitive health, that you feel focus and you can focus for a long longer stretches of time, then that they feel competent and energetic, I would say. Mentally energetic, creative and productive is my favorite word.
What's your favorite word?
Creative and productive.
Okay, I got it. Okay, and by the way, for those watching, we haven't even started with clarifying the idea, but if you look just at this exercise, let's go through the deep health model and see what are the topics, what are the things that come up. You can easily use these as headlines. Like this, are you mentally overloaded and your brain is feeling like it's burning? Well, that's a powerful headline for people in this stage who are thinking like this, and then you give them some clear ideas on how to handle this. So we are not even clarifying anything yet, but we already have our headlines and our bright future. And I see KS is still super engaged. So we want to be around their children and grandchildren. That's amazing.
Yeah, that would be an existential question. Yeah.
Oh yes, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So let me add this. Yes, they don't feel sexy anymore. Fear of aging, all the changes that it brings. Yes, fear of aging, changes. Very true. Good point, Martina. They want energy to play with kids and without getting tired. Yes. Energy to be around family without being tired. Cool. We are halfway through. Let's look into the physical, because we already talked about this a little bit with energy and feeling vibrant. What are some of the issues that you see in the physical realm for your ideal clients?
Yeah, there is there is this transition from being like the fertile female. Yeah, you are in. So they are going through menopause and all the changes that happens with that. The changes to the body, the changes to the also the mental. This is also a mental thing. Yeah, it's not only the body, but that they struggle with. I cannot eat anything anymore, and I will gain weight. So weight gains and pain, body pain comes at this phase. Yeah.
Be a little bit more specific about body pain.
A lot of tensions in shoulders, tension in knees. So sort of these ligament, nerve. It's due to that the body has been here. It's been around for a while, and you worked in one position. So I don't know how to describe that, but that's very common.
Pain from sitting a lot.
Yeah. Working in front of the computer, so you get neck pains, strains, sort of.
And what would you say is the inspiring bright future when it comes to their physical health?
It's feeling competent in their body again, being able to take a canoe tour, being able to run without pain, without being trouble about the knees, or being able to lift a kettlebell without having to figure, oh, I cannot with this arm because this arm is hurting. That's the competency in the body. And then it's about, okay, feeling that you can eat food together with your family in a healthy way without restricting everything.
Okay, what do we have in the comments? Comparing themselves to young influencer, that's an interesting topic for sure. I have had this conversation 100%. I'm not a young chick anymore. It's harder to lose weight than before. Tina, you're on fire. Thank you so much. And comparing with unrealistic images of influencers is a huge issue, especially, yes. Amazing points. Okay. Let's move on. So we have the emotional part. Question for everyone who's watching. What are some of the emotional struggles that clients face when they're female clients face when they're 35 to 55 in these high power positions? And again, Maria, what is it that you see with your clients?
First of all, I think emotional is very difficult to define, but let's try. Emotions would be that since you have these shifts all the time in hormones, you are feeling one thing one day and another thing the next day. So you don't recognize yourself. So you might feel more fragile, I would say, which they don't recognize from before because they always felt strong. So that's one thing. And then comes again this questioning anxiety. Also, as stress hormones increase, you will feel more anxiety. So anxiety is a big one. Am I doing the right thing with my children? Am I doing the right thing with my husband? Am I doing the right thing at work? You question, so feelings of questioning oneself, I recognize with them.
If you could paint the perfect future for them, how would that look like?
Yeah, of course. They don't want to have. They want to sort of normalize instead of like going up and down all the time. They want to normalize and feel again more content, calm, focused. Calm is the antidote to anxious. Yeah.
Okay. And let me quickly check the comments. Not feeling confident, feeling overwhelmed. Yes. Feeling like they need to be everything to everyone. Ooh, yeah. I think this is a great way to describe it. Yeah, feeling overwhelmed with all these changes. So KS and Martina, thank you so much for your amazing contribution. And yeah, manager of all the different roles. Lisa, thank you so much for that as well. Okay, then we have the final part, the environmental part. How do you see, what problems do you see?
I would like to add one there, which I think might.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, it's like you hear women say that no matter how fast I run, I'm not running fast enough in between the projects, and I saw that in one of my professors, and she had that. She was trying to run fast in between, work fast, work a lot, but she still didn't manage.
Yeah, good point. What difficulties do you see in the environmental area?
That I find it's tricky. Here I need help from the that's environment would be that they are if we think about environments like inside and outside, that we as coaches want them to be more outside and enjoy the sun, that maybe they got the habit of working inside and not taking a break for a walk in the day, that they are inside too much. That would be an environmental problem.
I see a couple of comments. I hope I won't butcher it. Bojana with health requires more attention and more effort to maintain. That's a good point. Puneet, thank you so much for being active as always. Feeling dull in routine. Yes, so you have been doing this for so long. Is this it? Yes. KS means families accomplish to food that aren't healthy, and she has to appeal to them. Yes, that's a big challenge as well. Cool. Thank you so much. Let me add this quickly.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have about 20 minutes. Now, what we have done so far is we have brainstormed freely, unfiltered. And for everyone who is watching this, everybody understands why communicating clearly to this audience can be difficult. And it doesn't matter if it's females 35 to 55 in high power positions, or young mothers, or young dads, or people in the last stage of their lives. Their lives are always complicated, but now we have to focus. We have to identify what is the key main concern that they have. And I want to show you a little strategy how you can define and clarify this. So we will go through a process, and I often think about these transformations as literally that. It is a transformation, similar what you often see in movies, for example. In movies, you see often the hero who is kind of broken, who doesn't have a lot of self-confidence or faces big problems, and they go through this transformation and reach a bright future. For me, when I prepared for this conversation and I looked at this niche, I thought about the movie Red, where these retired CIA agents come together and they notice, oh, my life is so boring since I left my spy job. Now what do I do? And in the end, they find a new meaning. They find a new purpose for their lives. They have more energy again. So this is what we try to communicate here. We have the hero. The hero are our highly educated women in power positions. They face certain external problems, certain internal problems, certain philosophical problems. And we are here to help them overcome these problems. So we are this outside force that helps them to do something, to change something, so they can reach a brighter future. Now, I need everyone in the comments to help me. What is the one key thing, the one key desire that our highly educated women in power positions have? What is the one thing that is going through their mind where they say, if I get this, I am ready to pay money for that? So let me see what we have in the comments here. Maria, the challenge is, of course, also for you because it's your
Yes, just
your niche. Think about your ideal clients. What is it that if I could get this, then I would be happy. I have a bright future. I want to learn more about how to get this. And KS kicks us off with feeling powerful, feeling confident. Maria, feeling attractive.
yes.
Maria, what do you have?
I guess one is 8 hours of how do you say that? Uninterrupted sleep.
Okay. I think a little bit more broader than 8 hours of sleep, but let's start there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Think about what are they dreaming about? What do they think, oh, I wish I could have that?
I think it's very difficult to say it in one word, and this is
No, it's not a word, it's a sentence, it's a description. So Martina means joy of life. I like where this is going, but we need it more specifically. Lisa means more energy. Everyone wants joy of life. Everyone wants more energy. Everyone wants to feel more attractive. I need something specific to these women.
Yeah. I want to feel competent, decisive. Sure. I want to feel competent, decisive, and vibrant.
How does it differ from a woman that is 25?
Because with 25, you're sort of per nature more vibrant.
We need more. We need to dig deeper here. So when I look at all these problems, I think about, oops, here's my idea. Conquering age with grace. Well, I don't know how to write conquering. Ring? Well, excuse my poor English in the moment, but this is where I feel they're conquering their changes, they're conquering menopause with grace, with confidence, with beauty. So I would maybe say, live your best life after 45. Seeing the beauty in growing older. So this is the kind of inspirational thing. We need something that makes them stop scrolling when they see our message? And for me, correct me in the comments, and Maria, correct me. This is all about the challenges of getting older, of getting into menopause. Maybe.
Yes, I believe a lot of the problems are they are connected to that. You could handle more stress, you could handle sleepless nights before, but you can't anymore, and that triggers other things. That triggers mental. It triggers anxiety. It triggers body pains and such things. So they are all connected. However, I am not really happy with. I don't think that a woman who is my age will stop live your best life after 45, because we always think that we are young. So I don't know if we should spin on like stay young forever or something like that. I mean, you want to stay where you are. You sort of want to stop the clock. You see what I mean?
Totally. You are the expert. I'm just trying to identify what could it be.
Yeah, and this is great. And you see, and all the other coaches, this is how difficult it is to.
Oh yes,
put a
we
name.
need to work on this.
Yeah, to put a name on something that is so big, but it needs to speak to the client who is not an expert in our field. Yeah?
Yes, you're aging well from the inside out. That's interesting as well. I would also maybe explore, something around self-acceptance. Here's the point why we are doing this. Imagine how many people try to talk to these women and they're not doing the work. They're not sitting down and thinking about what is it really that these women want. Now you're sitting down, you're taking maybe an hour and a half out of your day to understand what it is that they want.
I can go with something that one of the clients said. I want to be able to do yoga in your 90s. This was her future. This was her bright future. She could see herself like being competent with 90. And that means she needs to take care about her health already today.
Let me quickly see. Strong, beautiful, and happy after 40.
Yeah, that's good. Hmm?
Tell me a little bit more about this client that expressed be able to do yoga with 90 years old. What is it? What else does she tells you about that she wants?
She wants to feel strong in her body, because then she feels strong in her mind.
Now, let's add a little specific. Even if you are going through menopause or something, so we need to make it specific to them.
Something sort of going through I wouldn't say menopause, but everyone knows what going through the female transitions, and you want to feel strong in your body and strong in your mind.
Like this, feel strong in your body, feel strong in your mind, even when your body is changing?
Yes.
Okay. Let me quickly check the comments. Feeling strong in mind and body at any age. I like that as well.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
We are getting closer to what they want. Now let's identify what are external problems. What are things that coming to them that they have no control over? I start with the easy one, H. Are there any other external problems, things that they cannot control?
Yeah, I could say that you have a family, you can't really control your children anymore.
Okay, how is that a problem that you can't control your children?
Because that creates anxiety, of course.
Well, the anxiety is an internal problem already. Because you could not care at all about your children. You need something that is coming from the outside only. Is there something else that they struggle with outside of just aging?
Maybe I think wrong there, but my idea was that yeah, you have this growing family. I mean, you have a family and you have others that you care for, but you cannot, as an individual, you cannot care for how the other person. It's out of your control. That is what I mean. You have the growing responsibility for a lot of people, but they are out of your control somehow.
Okay. Let's move on to internal problems. Oh yes, children and aging parents. It's another.
Yeah.
So what are some internal problems? Things that are inside of them. So I think anxiety around their children growing up. One thing. What else?
Anxiety about their future health because they start to have health problems.
That's a big one. What other internal problems do they have? I think this is a big one.
Yes. This one is a big one, and then it will be more also the existential, that they are troubled. Okay, am I on the right path? Am I following my purpose, or sort of the more philosophical questions?
Yes. So how do I want to live my life?
Yeah.
I need the chat as well. What external, internal? Oh yes, mood changes because of hormones. Tina, that's a good point.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, we can fill this with time, but I hope we can see. So we have identified who is going through a transformation. It's our niche, the key people that we want to serve. We have identified a vision for them, what they want. Now we have identified what problems do they face. These are the villains like age coming in from the outside, mood changes coming, then internal struggles, anxiety, not accepting that I'm getting older, and then deep philosophical questions like, am I living a life of purpose? Am I living a life of meaning? How do I want to continue to live my next 10 years? We start to identify the different levels of problems and also how they would work and deal with these different kind of problems. Now, here comes the guide, the outside force. That's you, Maria. You are the outside force, the help that comes from the outside to help them deal with these problems and reach their bright future. Can you help us get an idea of what is your plan? What is the plan that you're giving them so they can overcome these problems?
So I will not be able to say this in just one sentence, but the plan is that, yeah.
How about 3 sentences?
Yeah, but they sense that they used to be driven by this very strong force to create, to produce, and now they start to, as they are changing, there is this more feminine, let's say that was a masculine force, and now comes the feminine force, and there is a conflict of these two. So the plan is then, as the coach, to help them balance these forces, because one force, it's driving them to their purpose. So they need that force to be fulfilled, but they also need the more soft force, the feminine force, and that is coming stronger and stronger, calling for them. Isn't it time to change? Isn't it time to sit down and just enjoy life? So the job of me as the coach is to help them get perspective of, okay, what can they control in life, and what do they have to accept? And how do they balance these masculine and feminine forces, yin yang? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we need a little bit more clarity, because this is not yet a plan to reach, at least for me. So we have a discussion around what can they control, what do they need to accept. Then there is a balancing part, balancing of these different forces, different desires that they feel inside in themselves. But how do they reach in the end this living in a strong mind with a strong, living in a strong body with a healthy mind? What is the next step from balancing?
It's sort of, yeah, in fact, this is very difficult, but the next step is then to be very confident in all your decisions.
But how are you confident? How do you make something confident?
You practice. You practice. You get.
What are they practicing?
Good question. They are practicing gratitude. They are practicing sort of awareness. Yeah. So I guess as a coach, you will give them the body mind scan and relaxations technique. So we will work on the acceptance part mentally. Yeah. Yes. But then as coaches, we would also help them understand that menopause is something maybe we need to teach a little bit here what menopause is and how that's affecting the body and what we can do ourselves and what are we in control of and what are we, yeah.
So I imagine now you would sit down with a client and you would start by explaining, okay, we first have to figure out what is actually happening here. What can we control and what do we have to accept? And this is already a big step, this part of accepting I am growing older. I'm accepting that this force or this desire to build a business is now slower and slower and slower. And there's this other part inside of me that is growing, that wants to be more present, that doesn't have this deep drive anymore, that actually wants to focus more maybe on family or something else.
Yeah.
And we have acceptance. We have to find this new you. I would define it like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Finding a new you.
Yeah.
A new for this life stage.
Mm-hmm.
And then practicing, actually getting into, okay, I think this new you could look like this. And then you try it out. You give maybe more time to things like yoga and your recovery, maybe trying a new hobby.
Yeah.
You maybe see, oh, there are parts that I like and then there are parts that I don't like. And then you adjust again. Does that describe what you do with your client?
Yes. I believe the plan here is, you see, other coaches might see that when we work with this kind of client, I find it difficult to write a program here because I might be able to do that, but the more clients I have, the more data we have. But defining a new you, there are many things we work with because the problems are not simple. The problems are deep rooted.
Yes. So do you feel confident about this plan? We have to essentially assess as a first part, what is something that we can change and what is something we have to accept.
Yes. Yeah.
Then the next part is a discussion of how could this next life stage look like for me? Creating a plan and an idea, and then it is practicing and experimenting with this new life and seeing what is actually what I want to do and what maybe has to change. Is that something that you do?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Yes, Martina says practicing boosting confidence with setting small daily challenges. Okay. Now, if we look at what we have done already, so we have our highly educated clients. We understand they want to feel strong in their bodies and strong in their mind, even when their body is changing.
Yeah.
So they want to continue this confidence that they have had the last 10 years. They want to still be confident and powerful in their bodies, even though things are changing.
Exactly.
what is going on in their head, their external problems, their internal problems. And now we have clarified the actual plan, not all the details, the nutrition, the sleep, that's all noise. The actual plan is, what do I have to accept? What can I actually change? How do I want to live my life moving forward? And then practicing this new life, trying it out, making an internship in your new life.
Yeah.
How does it feel so far for you?
Yeah, it's yeah. I feel that that's the way to work.
Okay. Now, what happens if they don't work with you? What would happen if they don't follow your plan?
Yeah, then this inner battle between these two forces, it becomes massive. And it might lead to burnout, which I have seen for many women in these positions at this age. It leads, if you don't catch them with these burning brains, they have a high risk for developing chronic disease, like nasty disease.
Maybe can we be a little bit more specific? What kind of disease are we talking here?
Cancer. You get high blood pressure, which then leads to, in the worst case, strokes, heart failures. So this inner stress and this inner anxiety might cause weight gains, but my role as a coach is actually to help these women avoid chronic disease. Well, the weight gain is, so that's how I view my role as a coach. The weight gain is just a warning signal, but there are other problems. Yeah.
No. For those who are still watching, I hope it becomes clear what we are doing. When we communicate with our clients in the future, and we communicate first their problems so they understand, we understand them. We communicate our plan, but we can also now say, this is like the salt in the soup. Hey, if you don't work with me, consider the consequences.
Yeah.
Now, we need to we need to be more clearly on their bright future. Working with you, making this transition, how are they gaining in some kind of form power or status? So I start with,
Yeah. Yes, attractive, yeah.
maybe staying. What else? Think about, they go to a party. Why would other people envy them? What are they radiating that people think they have a life that I want as well?
How I like to say power, but maybe someone else has I think about Michelle Obama, this confidence, this power. I think about the lawyer in the, what's her name? She's like a lion. This is where I envision, you have confidence and you feel like, you're just radiant, yeah?
Okay. How do we see a form of completeness and union? And I see the biggest part here is accepting of themselves and seeing the beauty of their changes, seeing the beauty of having less of this never-ending drive to build, and actually seeing the beauty of being more present, being more empathetic.
Yeah, and I would like to add accepting nature's way, but that I'm a biologist, so if someone else has a nicer way, but this is, I mean, yeah, nature is the driving force here. It's not you who makes a mistake being older. It's just, this is just the way it is. So if you could see the beauty that this is nature's way, yeah.
Okay. The power of health, feeling sexy in the little dress. These are really, really great points. So how are they fulfilling their full potential by embracing essentially this other part of themselves that is now growing stronger and stronger? I see.
They might feel more connected again with if they had a high driving force, they probably were not so connected in their tight relationships. They put sort of, I guess you could say that you were cold in your before, and now you are more warm, open, closeness.
I see also this slowly stepping away from being the driving leader to the opportunity to preparing the next generation in your company maybe to step up. So
Yeah.
you're in a way preparing somebody who will continue your business.
Yes, yes.
What else do you see as the bright future? If they think about, oh, where could I be in 1 year? What would be something they say, oh, that would be so exciting if I could be that person?
I think they also they in the bright future that they are mentoring somehow that they are stepping into the role of mentoring. It's not them driving, they are behind more.
Yes. Cool. Now, if you could describe the ideal women that they imagine they could be, how would this person look like? What would they do? What are some characteristics? How do they imagine something where they say, oh, if I can be this person, I wake up every day at 5 p.m.
I imagine in front of me that someone that I see, but how do I put that in words? You know, I see it physically in a picture.
This is the exercise. We need to turn the image into words. That's
Exactly.
why we're here.
Yeah. So I see exactly someone with a straight back. She has good body posture, and she has a good hair, and you can just see that she's sort of radiant this power of, all right, I am competent in my body, but I'm also competent in my mind, but I'm here, I'm open to other people.
Now, where are we? We have still, yes, be an example of being, of well-being for their families.
Yes.
That's awesome. Force to be reckoned with. Yeah. We're at our time limit. Now think about what we have achieved. So this is our niche. We have identified tons and tons of things that they constantly think about. This is on their mind all the time. If we can communicate this clearly to them, they want to talk with us because we show them that we understand them. And how are we going to do this? With clarity. We understand these are the key problems that they have. Externally, something that comes from the outside, internally, and philosophically, in the way of how am I living my life? We position ourselves as somebody who can help them make this transition from feeling unsure, anxious, not sexy, not competent, almost like I want to hide, to somebody who is with great posture in a great dress, with amazing hair on this party, on this networking event, just smiling, being open, being vibrant, and just attracting everyone with their amazing personality, with their openness, with this feeling of I can go to this person and I learn something from them. Now, Maria, imagine you can and you will communicate this to your clients. How will they respond?
I mean, now you put a picture in my head. So I was starting to think about pictures, sort of how do I transform this client who I know how she looks like into everyone maybe knows suits. And I think, and I'm losing the word here, but there's a really wonderful woman there. And she's the head lawyer. She runs the firms, and I mean, she's just radiant, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how I pick them up where they are.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they have pain, but that woman that I'm showing them, she doesn't have pain. She knows what she wants, yeah. And yeah, this is strong.
Oh, if you already have an image in your head, now you know what kind of images to use on social media as well.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So it's good to put it in words, but I also think we have to think about pictures because it's.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So for those still watching, thank you so much for staying with us. You can find this exercise sheet in my coaching session preparation kit. You go to my website and I will add the link to the description of this video. And then you can download it and go through this video and through this exercise yourself. Because in the end, if you can communicate the problem clearly, what is really going on in their mind, and you connect it with an image that they aspire to, and then finally you add the plan of saying, we do this, we do this, we do this, and I show you how to go from here to there. Then you have them.
Yeah.
Then you communicate what are you doing, what is different about you, and why they should buy you. Because you're not selling healthy nutrition or 8 hours of sleep. You're selling the transformation from somebody who has a business but wants to hide because their body changes, because they're not confident anymore, because they are not entirely sure what they want, to the radiant, open lawyer business running women in this great dress, amazing hair, red lipstick, just going through the networking event, looking everyone in the eyes and showing, I am 55 and I am the most powerful, amazing woman that I've ever been.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you can communicate this in a post, in a website, in a flyer, people will message you and will run into your doors just begging you to work with you. So everyone who's still here, thank you so much for the engagement. Lisa Kies, Martina Punet, thank you so much for staying with us, for engaging, for helping us working through this. This video will be on YouTube as well. I add the link to this exercise sheet in the description of the video. Thank you so much. And Maria, thank you so much as well. Have a great day.
And thank you, Robert. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.